The Caribbean Sea, once a symbol of tranquility, has long been a place where the azure waters meet the sky in a seamless horizon, a paradise for travelers and a haven for marine life. Its serene beauty, however, now masks a brewing storm of geopolitical tension. This region now hosts a tense international drama between the United States and Venezuela, two nations whose paths have been intertwined by history, politics, and economics. The once peaceful waters are now patrolled by military ships, a stark reminder of the fragile peace that hangs in the balance. The US, a global superpower with vast military capabilities, faces off against Venezuela, a nation rich in oil but plagued by internal turmoil and economic instability. The contrast between these two countries is stark, yet their fates are deeply connected by the flow of oil and the politics of power. Years of diplomatic clashes and economic sanctions have led to this moment of heightened conflict. Diplomatic efforts have often been overshadowed by protests and sanctions, creating a complex web of international relations that is difficult to unravel. The ideological battle between democracy and socialism has escalated to military presence, with both nations standing firm in their beliefs. This ideological divide is not just a political stance, but a way of life for many, influencing everything from governance to daily living. Understanding this requires delving into the complex history and human cost of this crisis. The struggles of Venezuelan families caught in the crossfire of political and economic upheaval tell a story of resilience and hardship. As of August 2025, the U.S. naval force near Venezuela sends a powerful message, a show of strength and a warning of potential conflict. The presence of these warships is a testament to the seriousness of the situation, as both nations prepare for what could be a pivotal moment in their history. This exploration will uncover the reasons, forces, and potential consequences of this dramatic move. Analysts and experts weigh in, offering insights into the strategic decisions being made and the possible outcomes of this tense standoff. We aim to paint a clear picture of a crisis that could reshape the America's future. The timeline of events, from diplomatic negotiations to military maneuvers, provides a roadmap of how we arrived at this critical juncture. The world watches, waiting to see if this storm will pass or break with force. As global news outlets report on the unfolding events, the eyes of the world are fixed on the Caribbean, a region that could hold the key to future geopolitical shifts. Washington's recent decision to dramatically enhance counter-narcotics operations in the Caribbean has sent shockwaves through diplomatic and military circles alike. The announcement, made with little warning, caught many off guard, signaling a significant escalation in America's approach to the region. For decades, the Caribbean has been a strategic crossroads, but this move marks a new chapter in U.S. foreign policy, one that is both bold and fraught with risk. This is the largest U.S. naval deployment to the Caribbean in over 30 years, a scale not seen since the height of the Cold War. The operation is widely interpreted as a direct response to the ongoing crisis in Venezuela, with the fleet's imposing presence aimed squarely at the embattled Maduro regime. The sheer size and scope of the deployment underscore the seriousness with which Washington views the situation. Officially, the mission is to stem the flow of illegal narcotics into the United States. However, few observers believe the explanation is that simple. Critics argue that the operation serves multiple purposes: projecting American power, pressuring Venezuela's leadership, and sending a message to other regional actors. The true motives remain a subject of heated debate among analysts and policymakers. At the heart of the operation is the U.S. Southern Command, orchestrating a complex web of warships, surveillance planes, and intelligence assets. Advanced technology allows for real-time tracking of maritime traffic, making it increasingly difficult for smugglers, or anyone else, to move undetected in these waters. The message is unmistakable. The United States is tightening a formidable net around Venezuela. Naval patrols have increased, and the perimeter grows more constricted by the day, signaling to Caracas and the world that Washington is prepared to escalate if necessary. Years of crippling economic sanctions have so far failed to dislodge President Nicolás Maduro from power. The humanitarian crisis deepens, and the political stalemate persists. Now, with this show of military force, the U.S. hopes to tip the balance, either by compelling change from within, or by increasing pressure to the breaking point. It's a high-stakes gamble. The administration is betting that a robust military posture will either force the regime to negotiate or trigger its collapse. But the risks are enormous. Miscalculation could lead to open conflict, drawing in regional and even global powers. On the front lines, U.S. sailors and Coast Guard officers are tasked with intercepting vessels suspected of carrying narcotics. Each boarding is tense, as traffickers grow more desperate and the stakes rise with every encounter. Operating so close to a hostile nation, every maneuver carries the risk of provocation. The potential for miscommunication or escalation is ever present, and both sides remain on high alert. The Caribbean, once a tranquil expanse of blue, is now a potential flashpoint. With so many military assets concentrated in a small area, the risk of incident, intentional or accidental, has never been higher. The line between law enforcement and war is dangerously thin. As the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard enforce their mandate, the world watches closely, aware that a single misstep could ignite a much larger crisis. U.S.-Venezuela animosity has deep roots, starting with Hugo Chávez's 1998 election. Chávez's socialist Bolivarian revolution challenged U.S. influence, creating ideological conflict. Nationalizing industries and seizing American assets fueled friction. Chávez's alliances with Cuba, Iran, and Russia further soured relations. Accusations of U.S.-backed coups cemented mistrust. Maduro's rise saw economic collapse, hyperinflation, and mass exodus. The U.S. blames Maduro's government, tightening sanctions to force change. Sanctions target Venezuela's oil and financial systems, worsening the crisis. This history sets the stage for today's military standoff. The U.S. accuses Venezuela of being a narco-state, charging Maduro with drug crimes. Allegations include collaboration with FARC to flood the U.S. with cocaine. Venezuela is accused of being a major transit point for drug trafficking. The U.S. offers bounties for Venezuelan officials, framing them as criminals. This strategy aims to delegitimize Maduro and justify U.S. actions. Critics argue it closes doors to diplomatic solutions, risking confrontation. The U.S. military force is a formidable entity, meticulously designed to project strength and maintain global stability. Its presence is a testament to the nation's commitment to safeguarding its interests and those of its allies. Navy destroyers, equipped with the state-of-the-art Aegis systems, are pivotal in dominating naval engagements. These advanced radar systems provide unparalleled tracking and targeting capabilities, ensuring that the U.S. Navy remains a step ahead in maritime warfare. Littoral combat ships, agile and versatile, patrol Venezuela's complex coastline with precision. These ships are designed to operate in shallow waters, making them ideal for missions in coastal regions where larger vessels might struggle. Air power is further enhanced by the P-8 Poseidon aircraft, which conducts extensive surveillance operations. These aircraft are equipped with cutting-edge sensors and communication systems, allowing them to gather critical intelligence over vast areas. This formidable force is capable of enforcing blockades, launching precision strikes, and maintaining control over both sea and airspace. Such capabilities ensure that the U.S. can respond swiftly and effectively to any threat. While the primary mission may be countering narcotics, the capabilities of the U.S. military extend far beyond. They are equipped to handle a wide range of operations, from humanitarian missions to full-scale combat scenarios. Specialized units like the law enforcement detachments, LADETs, and Navy SEALs are always ready for high-risk operations. These elite forces are trained to execute complex missions with precision and efficiency. The deployment of such a powerful fleet is a clear demonstration of American military dominance. It serves as a reminder of the U.S.'s ability to project power and influence across the globe, particularly in the strategically important Caribbean region. The sight of the American flag flying high on these powerful ships sends a potent message of U.S. power and resolve within its hemisphere. It symbolizes the nation's unwavering commitment to defending its interests and those of its allies. As the world watches, this formidable force shapes the region's future, influencing geopolitical dynamics and ensuring stability. The presence of the U.S. military in this region is a strategic move that underscores its role as a global leader and protector of peace. The international community is divided on the Venezuelan crisis. The U.S., backed by the Lima Group and European nations, supports opposition leader Juan Guaido. They view U.S. actions as necessary to restore democracy. Russia and China, with strategic interests, support Maduro, condemning U.S. interference. Cuba, Bolivia, and others see U.S. actions as imperialism. The UN calls for dialogue amid the humanitarian fallout. This division creates a dangerous geopolitical chessboard. Venezuela becomes a proxy battleground for global rivalries. Maduro responds to U.S. pressure with defiance and military posturing. He denies drug accusations, framing the U.S. as an invader. Venezuela's military is on high alert, ready to defend sovereignty. Maduro seeks support from allies like Russia and China. Domestically, the government cracks down on dissent, labeling opposition as traitors. Maduro uses the U.S. threat to consolidate power. His strategy turns external threats into tools for control. For Venezuelans, the U.S.-Venezuela confrontation adds to their suffering. Opinions are divided. Some see the U.S. as aggressors, others as hope for change. Supporters of Maduro fear U.S. intentions, while others welcome pressure for regime change. The diaspora in exile supports increased pressure on Maduro. They share stories of persecution and economic ruin, urging international action. Yet fear of military conflict looms large. Venezuelans hope for a peaceful transition, but face uncertainty. Their lives are in limbo, caught between a troubled homeland and an uncertain future. The crisis is a matter of life and death for them. As of August 2025, the U.S.-Venezuela situation is on a knife's edge. The U.S. naval force has changed the conflict's dynamic. Potential outcomes range from stalemate to violent escalation. A prolonged standoff could increase pressure on Maduro. Direct confrontation risks significant bloodshed and chaos. The U.S. bets on military pressure. Maduro relies on military loyalty. For Venezuelans, this geopolitical chess match is life and death. The world waits to see if the storm will break.